Yo, 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 yo. Welcome, everybody, to the Regal 30 podcast. I'm your host, King Nappy. Tonight, I wanted to talk to you guys about, I wanted to speak to you guys a little bit about content creation. Now, I made a video earlier kind of speaking on it and just sharing my thoughts on it for a little bit, but I wanted to go ahead and talk a little further on that particular topic. Now, I started my channel roughly around 2 years ago, back in 2018. And it's definitely been a trial. It's been a test. It's been a trial of patience. It's not easy. You try to figure out what direction you want to go in. You try to figure out what sort of identity you want your channel to have. You try to figure out what persona you want to come with and what material you want your channel to have. And it's a bit much to try to account for all of those things. I remember starting my channel back in 2018. Me and my wife were talking about it, and we were like, let's start a channel where we focus on, our hair. We both were growing out our dreadlocks. We focus on our hair, and we also focus on uh, nutrition. And I was like, okay. And we were thinking of a name. We were trying to come up with a name. And I was just like, well, our hair is nappy. So what about naps? And the food that we eat is more so like a nourishing kind of a food, more of a nourishing aspect to the way we dieted and things like that. So we was like, how about we go with naps and nurture? And we were like, yeah, let's do that. And I had made this logo, like the logo we have now, which is the green leaf logo, is entirely different from the logo that I had at first. At first, it was like two huge N's. It was like I want to say I had an N and an end. And I had like this huge tropical sort of design inside of the letters and huge bold letters. And it was usually like a big picture of me in the background. It was weird, to say the least. And those were the early stages. Cringy videos, terrible, timing, and a whole lot of ums when I talk. And I still kind of do that at times. I've definitely trying to my best to get better at, leaving those out of my speech whenever I'm talking and recording a video. A few of them do slip through, but at first I was terrible at it. It was just and then and it was just such a boring way to present, myself and to present my speech, and it was a terrible way to articulate. We were struggling, man. The videos were dry. We were recording everything from my phone. I had a iPhone. What was it? SE, and it was it was one of the earlier SE, so it looked just like the 4S, the exact same size, the same look. I don't know what the difference was, but it looked like a 4S. And that was what I recorded on. And my videos just used to look okay at best. See, one slipped through. I was really trying to find the identity of the channel. So I was doing recipe videos. I would get on there. I would go live from Twitch. I was on Twitch a whole lot. I was gaming and was going live on Twitch and things like that. And it was rough. I would be on Twitch and I was doing a whole gaming thing. I was trying to play, what was it, like Fallout, Detroit, any game that I could play that didn't require me playing with anybody else. Those are the games that I was trying to play. NBA. There were a few games, and I was gaming heavy. That was my plan. Was I was going to game and build up a following, try to bring that following over to the YouTube channel. And I had a bigger following on Twitch than I had on YouTube. And it just, was just trying to find the identity, just trying to figure out what I was going to do. There was a certain groups that I was a part of, gaming wise, and my name of my channel was like Nappy Gang Gaming. I don't know. It was just so weird. It was a weird space that I was trying to carve out for myself, and it just wasn't happening. Or I will say this, it was happening. It was just wasn't something that I was passionate about. I wasn't passionate about gaming, and I still aren't. And I don't even know if that's right. And so I left it alone. I gave up the gaming, and I said, you know what? I want to do content creation. And the games that I was playing is the same games that everybody else was playing. At that particular time, everybody was playing Fortnite and Call of Duty this, Call of Duty that, and I was burned out on it, and I never even touched those games. And I was instantly burned out on those. But this was just the journey that I had to go through in regards to creating my channel and in creating my space in content creation. This went on for a few years. We did traveling vlogs. So whenever we went and traveled anywhere, whenever we went out of town or on a trip or anniversary, honeymoon or whatever, whenever we did anything, we would always, vlog it. And it was called Nappy Navigations, which was cool. I kind of like that. And I want to pick up on more of that again. We just haven't done it in a while due to everything happening over the past year. But I wouldn't mind getting back into that. Nappy Navigations was something that was really fun and I truly enjoyed. Marriage retreats, we would record some of those. Date nights, whenever we went out to date nights, if we went out to a new vegan restaurant or a new bar or lounge or anything like that, we will go ahead and vlog it. Movie reviews. My wife did a few reviews together, but for the most part, I did them, as standalones. But my wife would join in every here and there. We would do some movie reviews together. I reviewed a few games that I played. Uh, Um, Products. I started getting into product reviews, and it was rough. I had pulled up the analytics on a video that I recorded earlier, and those analytics was showing that our channel did not pick up any real traction until last year, May or June. Once we picked up traction last year, that's when things begin to kind of pick up a little bit more and take off a little bit faster. But it was stagnant. We were stagnant for almost 2 years. 2018 to mid 2020, we were stagnant. And we had an idea of what we wanted our channel to be, so far as our identity for the channel and what we wanted to pursue, but we just couldn't quite get the traffic. And to be honest, the traffic that I have now is great in comparison, but it's still not what I want so far as like my end goal. And we just continue to be patient and work towards it. What I want to say to the content creators is your journey is there's going to be a lot of twists and turns. There's going to be a lot of things that change, things that you may do on one season, you may just get rid of entirely the next. Um, it may be a lot easier for somebody who is, um, it may be a lot easier for somebody who has a niche, set sort of content, category where they may do just a set thing. Sorry, my train of thought is leaving me. I've seen guys where they do all fishing content, and I've seen guys where they will do all like auto mechanics content and stuff like that. Does really well because everybody knows exactly what they're going to get whenever they search up your content, whenever they review your channel, and people know exactly what they're going to get. On my channel, people got an idea of what they'll get now, but before it was still kind of up in the air. We were still in those creating stages, and it was rough, you know. We last year we got into fragrance reviews. Once I got into fragrance reviews and going over fragrances and things like that, that's when everything took off. Right here with me tonight, what I'm rocking tonight is Bear Fruit Volume 1. This is by Breakhaven. And I can get my camera to focus. Lovely bottle. This is a super summertime scent. This is what I'm rocking tonight. Now, he says there's no cannabis in here, but I think he's trying to throw me off. I think there is cannabis in it. No, I'm just fooling. Very lovely fragrance. I always had a love for fragrance. Ever since I was a little boy, and it hasn't went away. So I said, you know what? I like fragrances. I like, smelling good. I like purchasing them. Let's get into some of these lower entry level review content videos. Started doing those like little fragrances that I had, um, little fragrances that I had in my collection. That's when I started posting them and reviewing them and things like that. And man, I was just posting like my African imports. I had a lot of African import oils. I had a lot of low entry level designer, True Religion, Tommy Hilfiger, some polos. I picked up some Afnons, some more moths, kind of getting into things. And it just started growing from there. And I realized that there was a lot of active traffic, a lot of traction that I was getting from the fragrance community. And I met a lot of great people. A couple of them are here with me tonight on this video as we're recording live. Make sure you guys stick around. I'll edit this video up and re-upload it, and it'll be a little cleaner. And then check us out on Anchor FM as well. All our podcast episodes will be fully edited and uploaded onto Anchor FM, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, as well as I think I said Spotify, Breaker FM. Definitely check us out on there. But that's when things started to take off. And I wanted to keep some of the original elements that I had, because I originally wanted this channel to just be whatever it is that I wanted it to be. I didn't want this channel to be a one set thing. What I see happen so many times in the community of content creators is you'll get a content creator that focuses on one thing, but really they want to do something else. But that one thing that they'll focus on temporarily is the thing that's going to get views and get traffic and get subscribers quickly. So you'll see them doing things that they may not want to do. I mentioned in a video earlier, there was a young man by the name of Berlizzi, and he does videos, or he did videos where he would roast cartoons and expose cartoons, like old classic cartoons that we used to watch, when we were younger. And it was a huge, huge success. Millions and millions of views, got his first 1 million subscribers. And I remember watching him when he was like at 20 or 30K, and he just kept constantly growing 1 million subscribers. And I'm pretty sure he was just elated, completely just elated, seeing the opportunity that brought for him. Moving on down in the future, later on down the road, he really wants to get into gaming. Gaming was his main thing. That's what he loves to do it day and night in his sleep. That's what he wanted to do. So he had to create a separate channel called iBerlizzi, and that one is where he gamed. And so he had to do a disclaimer on the original channel telling everybody, hey, I'm going to be getting into gaming. I'm going to be doing some gaming videos. This is what I love to do. This is what I originally wanted to do in the first place. I would love if you guys came over and hung out with me and spent some time as we get into some games. Looking at him now, that's starting, I don't say starting, that's successful for him. There's a lot of people that love the game. A lot of his audience was a younger audience anyway. So that transition was a smooth transition. But that's not going to happen for everybody. You got to make sure if you are going to transition, that's not going to be a harsh one. That you don't go from fishing and hunting tips channel to coffee and espresso barista making channel. You don't want it to be such a stark difference. Let it be something, a transition that's a bit smoother, easy to digest, so you can retain a lot of that original audience. But a lot of times when it's such a contrast in content, your audience have to be an entirely different audience. You lose some of the original, you gain some new ones, but you end up losing out on such a big bulk of audience. I know I got people that come to my channel and they only come for a certain amount of content, a certain type of content. And that's perfectly fine because I didn't build the channel on just one set thing. The fragrance definitely gave me a boost, but I had videos that weren't fragrance related that was doing the best numbers that my channel has. Right now, like I said in my video earlier, this microphone right here, I did a review on this microphone. I need to do a review on the arm of it because I really like this arm. It's been super convenient for me. And it also was something that I really wanted when I first started creating any type of content. I just wanted to not only feel legitimate, but look the part and be able to give legitimate content. But I wanted to look the part as well. And I see guys with the the headphones and the microphone. I was like, man, I'm pretty sure this stuff costs hundreds of dollars. A good camera that can, focus in when you bring a certain product pretty close to it. This one struggles sometimes, but my old camera wouldn't even dare try to do anything like this. And just trying to make subtle changes and improvements to the channel. And it felt good to be able to create that. It felt good to be able to grow. And like I said, the content that we had was mainly recipes and reviews, product reviews, things like that. Like I said, this was one of my top videos is my microphone review. And my fragrance reviews got me a lot of traction, but those weren't my highest ranking videos. So that went to show me that, the content, if you're consistent and then the content is quality, throw in some decent aesthetics, throw in some good engagement and interaction with your chat, that's going to go a long way. And I remember looking at the requirements to become a monetized partner on YouTube. I remember looking at those requirements and I'm like, man, there's no way I'm going to be able to get this, and I didn't know when. I remember looking at it for the first time and I think I had 80 subscribers. I had 80 subscribers and I was barely getting views. If I got 10 views on a video, I was kind of like, oh man, we kind of doing something. And to be honest, I still kind of get videos that do that. I just have so many videos now that all of it just still equates to some decent views for the channel, which I'm perfectly fine with. I got some videos that'll do hundreds and hundreds and some thousands. And I got some videos that'll do 30s, 40s, 50s, 20s, and 10s. And I'm okay with that. As long as I putting my best effort forward to provide some quality content, I'm okay with that. But like I said, it's about figuring out what you want for the channel. I said earlier in the video, patience. Be patient. I was one of the guys that would come on, check my analytics like every day. Every day I'm checking analytics. Every day I'm trying to see what's changed, what's new, who else has been here. It was a while where I didn't have enough views to even pull, demographics and seeing who's watching from what part of the world. I wasn't pulling enough views to even pull that information. It was just like, dude, you don't have enough info in the system for us to even do that. I I struggled, but I was patient and consistent. I went from being consistent and just putting out content. Like I was putting out like 3 or 4 videos a day, all week, nonstop, just content, just a barrage of content. And to be honest, I didn't need to do that. I like the fact that I did because it definitely gave me a rhythm of how I want to put content out, but I don't necessarily need to do it in that quantity. It doesn't have to be 4 or 5 per day, but 4 or 5 per week, I'm perfectly okay with. I can do a Monday fragrance review, a Tuesday podcast, a Wednesday fragrance first impressions, a Thursday where we may just randomly go live and just interact with everybody, and a Friday maybe a fragrance skit or a fragrance vintage review or something like that. I don't mind that because it makes the scheduling so much easier, and I'm able to be consistent in a much more structured way. But it would get tricky trying to do that every single day, 4 or 5 videos a day. You know, I was good at my editing and good at doing like this really shortcut, backhanded way of editing my videos. And I was good at it to where I was able to put out videos pretty quickly. But, people get burned out on that. If you're constantly just shoveling out content, it get hard for people to keep up and people feel intimidated. There's a show that I used to want to get into. I think it was an anime. And I was never really much of an anime guy, but my brother recommended this show, told me to check it out. So I started watching the episodes, and I maybe had gotten through maybe 80 episodes, and I didn't realize that the show actually had close to about maybe 800, maybe even more episodes. So I felt intimidated, and it made me stop watching the show. The show had so much content built up that I already was just out intimidating myself, and I was just like, "No, I'm okay." There's no way I'm ever be able to get through that. Unless I'm just like furiously watching episodes. And so I started focusing on creating quality content instead of trying to create quantity. Focus on the visuals, focus on what I'm saying, how I'm engaging, um, search my keywords and how I'm actually building up my description, how I'm, building up just the first impressions of the video. Worked on my intro. My intro wasn't really the longest. I didn't really like long intros to begin with, but that was an intro that I had that was a little bit lengthy at the time, and I shortened it to like 5 seconds. Because I would notice that I wouldn't like watching videos where the intro was just too long. Just get to the point, especially with fragrance reviews. You would get guys that will start a video and they'll show you the fragrance, and they're like, before we start this video, and they would just go all around the world with different topics and different, disclaimers and things like that to address and talk about before they ever even touch the fragrance. And that I never liked. So I knew I didn't want to do that on my channel as well. It was just, that was something I just never cared for. I wanted to make my content something that was easily digestible, something that everybody could get into, everybody can relate to, um, something that any age can get into. I try to make sure my content is not inappropriate or offensive, that it's approachable by everybody. Now I sit back and I think of like new and creative ways to engage this particular channel. Thinking of new video ideas, new skit ideas, and play and sort of the little retro review ideas and different different things that I can set up. That's more so what I've been thinking about lately, and it's been fun, man. I've been enjoying it. Creating content that's a little fresh, but has a familiar basis, has a familiar sort of tone, and just added just a little bit of a freshness to it so far as how you're presenting that content. As you guys can see behind me, this is my fragrance collection. Those things is what helped this channel. You know, me going in on that particular topic and speaking on those things, that's what helped me out tremendously. I want to advise content creators, especially new ones. Like I said before, be patient, be consistent, develop a schedule. Definitely want to develop a schedule. Getting a schedule together puts your mind into gear a lot faster than just kind of coming into the studio, sitting down and saying, all right, what do I want to do? Having something already written down and something already planned, that's going to get that gear and that cylinder rolling. Um, that's going to get you rolling on all cylinders. It's going to get that brain functioning much faster because you already have an idea of what you're going to do. Now you're step by step how to accomplish this. It's going to come to you a lot easier. With me implementing like the 5-day schedule and already having a good idea of what I want to put out there on each one of those days, makes it so much easier for me to catch up and put out content and schedule content weeks ahead of time. At one point I was like 2 weeks ahead, so far as content. And each one of those weeks I had 5 videos scheduled for for each of those days that work week. Had 5 videos already scheduled for each one of those weeks. 10 videos uploaded, scheduled, edited, ready to go. And all I had to do was just kind of kick back. But I did that way, so that way during that week, whatever video I'm working on that actual physical week won't be for that week. It'll be either for the following or the week after the following. And it all came from me organizing and setting things up in a much more efficient manner. We're getting rest. I got there. I'm done with this episode. Probably will hop in the shower, test out some more of this fragrance here, and I'm hitting the bed. Getting some rest, waking up and getting a good jump on the day, that helps out a lot, especially with me having my girls home. My two twins, they are normally at home with me throughout the day. So when they're here, I can, I can monitor them and I can be there for them, watch them and kind of keep them and keep track of them. And I definitely have to develop a schedule when in regards to keeping them as well as me creating content. And it was weird, man. With me having that schedule, I was able to put out more content than I did before, or it felt like it was more consistent. It felt like it was solid content instead of me just throwing out a video. The content felt solid, and even with me bringing the girls home. Um, Another piece of advice I would give new content creators is be careful who you work with. Uh, don't just jump up and work with anybody. Make sure you sit down and fully discuss uh, the ins and outs of that ordeal of whoever you want to work with. Make sure you sit down and you fully discuss how you want to approach whatever relationship or bond you're looking to build with this person. Um, Everybody's not meant to create content. Sometimes you may have somebody out here who's creating content and they're just not meant to be in that arena. You know what I mean? Everybody doesn't have what it takes to be a effective content creator. And so I'm constantly examining myself to make sure, hey, am I that person or am I not that person? Do I need to find something else to get into? Do I need to let this go? And I'm constantly examining myself, examining what I'm doing, examining my metrics and my analytics, um, looking for feedback to see, hey, do I need to be in this space or I need to find something else to do? Or am I right where I need to be? Um, the way you treat people, you got to treat people the way you want to be treated. And you got to invest some time into people as well. With me, I was always a very self centered person. And so for me to come on here and to sit and listen to someone else and be happy for someone else, at first it was a struggle because I would always get like an idea in my head of what I could do, or I would get a memory in my head about something that happened with me, something that I've been through, and people would hear me and say, "Oh, you know what? You kind of focused on you. You kind of self centered." And it was true. It was a lot of times where I would just think about what I'm doing, worry about what I'm doing, and to a degree that could have an advantage. But when you overdo it and that's all you can really like think of and focus on, it hurts you and it hurts people around you. And I had to learn how to celebrate people, not so that I can insert some good things that I've done as well into the conversation, but just because you want to celebrate them. Just celebrate them for them, congratulate them. I always had like this motivation, ambition, drive sort of deal. So when I see somebody else winning, I wouldn't necessarily get jealous, but it would just motivate me to get on my grind, which it should be that way. But it was so much that way where as soon as I saw them doing something, I'm like, all right, we got to get to creating something. We got to get to the drawing board. What we doing next? And it's healthy to have some of that. You just don't want to have too much to where you completely forget to celebrate that other person, that other content creator. What you put into it is what you will get out. So I'm always kicking out content, and wanting feedback, checking the comments, checking the likes, checking the engagements and the analytics, hoping that I'm getting something from someone, hoping that someone is enjoying the content, that they are coming in and subscribing, they're liking, they're hitting that notification bell. I was constantly wanting something for what I put out there, but was not celebrating somebody else for what they put out there. Would see it, I would get inspired, and then go and create. And that's cool and all, but take some time and celebrate others. Take some time and highlight somebody else. Don't just skim through video. Actually, watch their content and see what's what. The way you want to be treated, the way you want somebody to do your video. You don't want them to just sort of just brush past it and not really look at the hard work you put in, but actually pay attention and check out their content and see what they created. Um, it's healthy. It's healthy for you, or at least it was healthy for me. Um, what else would I advise for a new and upcoming content creator? Integrity. Keep integrity close by you and do not let it wander off too far. It's real easy for us to lose integrity and start doing like little side stuff. Keep integrity. With me doing fragrance reviews, there were a lot of companies that I would reach out to, and they would send products, send fragrances to us for us to review. And I was always super stoked about that. I was always super happy about that. And there were some companies that would expect your review to be biased because they may pay you, they may cut you a check. So they're like, hey, this is advertisement that we're paying for. So we want you to conduct yourself a certain way. And someone approached me with a question: if someone sends you a fragrance to review, but you don't like the fragrance, what do you do? And I said, you review the fragrance. You review it and you be honest. And I kept reiterating that you don't have to be an a-hole in order for you to be honest. A lot of people feel like once I'm being honest, I have to be harsh. I have to be very cutthroat about it, and you don't. You can keep it 100 with somebody without having to trash their product, their fragrance. So I said, just be honest, be truthfully honest. A lot of these companies, they're wanting that. A lot of these companies realize that just getting a whole bunch of people to say yes, to be some yes man to a fragrance is just it's not going to be productive, because the people in the fragrance community, they'll pick up on that. They'll pick up on this content creator always has something positive and great to say. He says the same thing. Oh, I love this. Oh, I love this. It smells great. Oh, I love this. It smells great. They'll pick up on that. Like, oh, this is from this particular company, and they'll realize, okay, this company is sending you stuff, and you fudging the numbers. So keep integrity. Make sure you keep that close by. That's extremely important. A lot of times there are some metrics that are going to elevate, and they're going to grow, they're going to expand, and it won't have anything to do with the content you create. It's going to have something to do with your integrity. So make sure you keep that close. Um, yeah, I think that might wrap it up for tonight. I think that might wrap it up. I just wanted to get on here and talk to you guys, chat with y'all about that, and get your thoughts. And let me know your thoughts in the comment section after the video post. What would be something that you would advise to new content creators, and what was your experience as a content creator? If you create videos, you create content, what was your experience with dealing with creating content, and how did you navigate that? How did you figure out your way when it came to content creation? Let us know in the comment section below. This video should post maybe within the next hour. If you guys want to contribute, if you want to donate to our channel, right here, if you can see on the screen, is a way. This is my Cash App, NappsandNurture, $NappsandNurture. Thanks in advance. Whatever you want to send anything our way, we're more than happy to accommodate for that, and we'll be grateful for whatever you send. Also, if you ever see me live and you do this, I want you to comment. Just let me know something if we're still live. If you ever send anything and we're live and we're chilling, let me know. Say, hey, I just sent the Cash App sent, or payroll, bankroll, something. Let me know so that I can give you your due thanks. I don't like to let anything slide and let something go unacknowledged. Chill mode. I appreciate you dropping by, brother. Good advice. Have a great evening. Um, yeah, that's gonna wrap it up for this one. We may do like a part two for this particular episode. We might do a part two, just going over content creation as a whole, what to look out for, what to lean into, and lean away from. My name is Michael McNeese, aka King Nappy, and I will see all of you guys in the next episode. Thank you for tuning in to the Regal 30 podcast. Good night.